No one is in here.
No, well, I didn't make this. I literally just made the stream. No one could jump in.
Oh, I thought you had it set up earlier.
No, I just set it up.
Oh, okay.
No, I forgot to do it. Actually, while we start this, I'm actually gonna fix the thumbnail because I need to make Chapter 3 thumbnail. But okay, so talk about some Stormtrooper aim.
Yeah, those Stepstones dudes could not shoot for shit for
That
a
was a
hot
little
minute.
ridiculous.
There's a little bit of Arya action going on there with Damon.
Yeah, some plot armor.
A little bit.
There ever was one.
A little bit. There was a lot of arrows fired that did not hit their mark. But then all of a sudden, 3, boom.
Right? They deserve a raise. Those 3.
Those dudes that hit him.
Yeah.
If they didn't all get burnt to a crisp.
Yeah. the guy, the archer on the wall, like 5 minutes after the dragon attacked. Dragon! No. You don't say.
He was a little late on that one, wasn't he?
Yeah.
A little bit. Just a smidge.
It was really nice to see just what a good father Viserys is.
He's trying.
He is. I feel like he made some good decisions at the end.
He's trying.
You have to get married, but you can choose who you want to marry.
Viserys is being very progressive.
Yeah.
I feel like no one else is going to like it.
No, definitely not.
Literally, the whole episode, everyone is just like, you need to make him your heir. You need to make him your heir. Oh, by the way, that little 2-year-old, you need to make him your heir. And Viserys is just like, yeah, no. I'm good with the decision I made. Thank you very much.
Actually, I'm gonna stick with my guns. Rhaenyra. She's gonna be taking over the kingdom.
Yep, I picked a girl. I'm gonna keep picking the girl.
So, from reading the book, I mean, what'd you pick out of this?
They're definitely hitting where they need to hit. Both of the choices that are offered to Viserys as far as who to have Rhaenyra marry.
Mm-hmm.
Valid choices.
Yeah, I would say so. I thought Hightower's
pick
idea was pretty solid. Like, it was a good choice. You know, if he
definitely follows Targaryen tradition.
Exactly.
Look, just have her marry her brother. It'll work out. It's fine.
Exactly.
Even though Targaryens up at this point are not really doing that anymore.
Well, no. But maybe some people will be like, alright, I mean, why not?
Fair enough.
It used to work. Let's give it a go.
And Viserys' response to all of these suggestions is just, I'm going to get really drunk.
I mean, it's not a bad choice to make.
I appreciated how well they were able to make him look older. by doing very little.
Yeah.
Like, you can definitely feel like 2 years have passed.
Agreed.
He definitely looks worn by everything. And he's currently the dude talking reason with Rhaenyra, saying, like, you're just angry all the time. You don't talk to me. I don't know what's going on. You're just mad all the time.
Yeah.
But he did marry her best friend.
He did.
Who does seem to really still have her best interests in mind.
Even though it seems like Otto Hightower is trying to pull some strings and manipulate her.
Yeah.
Like, don't forget, I'm still your father.
Yep.
I'm always looking out for what's best for you.
Well, and he's still telling her what to do.
Because as much as I can say that Hightower's idea for the marriage is a good one, you know he's only doing it because he wants his grandchild to be the king.
Well, we got a lot more gender role reinforcement in this episode too, where he just is basically like, no, your son is going to be the king. And saying things like, the men will not agree to this. The laws of gods and men will not agree to this.
Exactly.
On and on and on. Men. Mm-hmm. Women do not matter.
Well, at one point, who was it? Was it Hightower that said it's because she's a woman? Like, someone said it straight up. I think it was Hightower. I might be, or was it the other dude? I can never remember his name. The other one who was talking to the king when he was at getting drunk at the hunt. Yeah.
Doing a Robert?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I thought there's definitely... I haven't thought about it enough to get the meaning, but there was definitely some meaning behind him killing the stag there.
Yeah, he definitely didn't want to. And he definitely struggled in doing it. It was very difficult, and he couldn't do it once. He had to stab it twice, and he really didn't want to.
The scene was a bit messed up.
I loved how they set that all up, where you had all these people going out, looking for this stag, hunting it down, tying it up, to then set this whole thing up so where the king just walks in and he just kills it.
Right.
Whereas you've got Rhaenyra going off on this kind of rebellious hissy fit that she's having. And her and Kristen Cole just straight up kill a boar out of the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. And then, not to mention the white stag shows up. It's maybe an omen for Rhaenyra.
Right? And they don't kill it. They let it go.
Yes.
Very interesting. The White Heart. That's what they were calling it. The White Heart. Good omen for your realm.
I know Robert speaks about the White Heart a lot in A Song of Ice and Fire. It's like who he's hunting all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently the true king is the White Heart.
And it showed up for Rhaenyra.
Mm-hmm. And it has surpassed many a king.
It has eluded them all. I'm just still kind of just in awe of what we just saw. It was so good. I'm still absorbing it. I'm sure if I think about it some more, I will think about more things that I can't think of right now because I'm still just like, oh, the episode was so good.
So I'm really glad it just kind of opened up with dragons.
It was so nice to see dragons. Caraxes, long boy, doing good stuff, being a good fighty fire boy.
Right.
So badass. Love Caraxes. He's such a good boy.
He looks so weird though. Like Caraxes and the way he like moves and
He like undulates.
Yeah.
Like very Chinese dragon style, just like long sausage boy floating in the wind. I love it. It's great.
in comparison with like
Drogon.
Drogon or even the other dragon we saw.
Yeah, I think that might have been that could have possibly been I just had it. That dragon. Sea Smoke, I think, is that dragon.
Oh, okay.
He very much looked like silver and gray and blue, kind of like gray and blue.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was Sea Smoke. He looked actually quite a bit like Drogon and Rhaegal.
Yeah, he kind of did. He looked more like what I think of when I think of the Game of Thrones dragons.
Right, he had that
That's for
traditional
sure.
look about him.
Hey,
Ah,
Mr. Tuk Tuk. Yeah, I don't know. I was just really happy to see some dragons in this.
do some battles.
Yeah.
Very traditional Game of Thrones dragons things. Although I did like the fact that at the very beginning you see Caraxes doing all these really awesome things, and it looks super cool, and then right after it's like, yeah, they're losing. They're not doing too hot. And actually, Daemon and his dragon are kind of what's making it worse. They're not helping.
I don't get how they were losing. I mean, wouldn't you think, okay, just take your dragons. You have multiple dragons, by the way. This isn't just like, oh, Caraxes is the only dragon out here fighting. Just go to the entrances, and then you just, like, breathe fire in there, and then it just becomes an oven.
I'm not sure of the
Bam.
specifics.
War won.
Of what? Maybe they weren't hiding in the caves before. Maybe this is just what they were doing now. They've been
Maybe.
fighting this dude for 2 years.
That's true. I kind of forgot that 2 years have passed.
Yeah.
They really didn't let you know. It was just, hey, by the way, there's a 2-year-old now.
They said it at the beginning of the episode.
Wait, when?
The very beginning, when they were talking to Viserys, they were like, "It has been 2 years since you've had your son," and blah, 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 blah.
Well, yeah,
Since
that's
you
what I
got-
was saying. You had
since-
a 2-year-old.
Or since you
That's
got
what I said.
married or whatever. But they like said it in the episode at the very beginning.
Well, yeah, I said that, but it was kind of later in because we saw the dragon fight and everything before that.
Well, right, but that was the intro to the episode.
Yeah,
So I don't understand why you're saying it wasn't.
because I didn't realize the 2 years had passed before we saw that scene.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying now. Okay. I thought you meant like the episode didn't make it clear.
No.
Either way, whatever. I actually thought Crab Feeder was gonna be in more than one episode.
I know. I was honestly hoping for like an epic battle showdown or something, but no. Daemon just goes into the cave and comes out with half a crab feeder. That's it.
I mean, it was pretty badass.
I mean, it was.
I thought we were gonna get an episode of this war with them, and then next episode they would kill him. But apparently, all in one episode. War in the Stepstones is won, no problem. How about Daemon being really pissed off that Viserys finally offered to help?
Well, that's what like spurred him into this. He was just like, my brother's gonna come help? No. Hold my dragon.
Alicent had to convince him to help because Otto told Alicent that he had to convince him to help.
Mm-hmm.
What in God's name, Viserys? And I guess also just proves the point that Otto Hightower really knows how to manipulate Viserys.
Yeah. Well, we kind of knew that.
His daughter, Alicent, still seems like she really is just trying to do the right thing for everybody. She still seems like she just wants to be happy. And wants everyone else to be happy. Rhaenyra still obviously hates her guts.
Yeah.
That wound.
Rhaenyra really hates her. Which I don't get. It's not like it's her fault. It's not like she chose to date her father.
She kept their meetings a secret, though. Like, she was complicit in it.
I mean...
She could have said, hey, Rhaenyra, you're my best friend. They're making me date your dad.
What do I do?
Right. She could have said something.
She
didn't.
She could have.
She could have said something. She could have been like, look, I'm sitting in your dad's chambers helping him with his model of Valyria every day. And we're getting close. My dad told me I had to do it. I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, but she was probably thinking that maybe she wouldn't believe her. Maybe she would just be like... I don't know, think that she was responsible for the meetings.
I think it would still have not gone over as badly if she'd have just said something to Rhaenyra about it. Just been like, this is happening. Because my dad told me to.
I mean,
I'm uncomfortable.
But hindsight's 20/20.
I know. But I'm just saying, I can understand why Rhaenyra is salty about it.
Yeah.
She doesn't know why her best friend, didn't tell her. In her mind, she's just like, well, maybe she was just my best friend to get at my dad.
Fair enough.
You don't know.
Did you ever like me, or was it just to get at my father? I miss our A Song of Ice and Fire readings, too. I miss doing them.
I miss them. I miss reading them. We were so close to finishing A Clash of Kings, too.
We were.
We were almost there. We'd met Ygritte, Craster.
Yeah,
Karth was happening. Dany just left the House of the Undying. Like, stuff was happening. And no more. But we have this. We have House of the Dragon.
That's right. So it all worked out,
I guess.
in a way.
It is good. But, alright. Those Lannister dudes.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say something about that.
Come on! Those Lannister dudes. They were great.
They were.
They were so funny. When the one made that face when she came back covered in blood. Ooh.
I know.
So good. His pride has pride, she says. His pride has pride. Such Lannisters.
It really was.
They were so great. And twins. Twins to boot.
I know, you gotta throw out the twin thing.
What did they say the one's name was? Tyland?
Yeah, Tyland.
Tyland Lannister.
Like, alright. We get it. You guys are obsessed with Thai names. Because, come on. Tyland. Who is Tywin's brother? I can't remember now.
Kevin,
never mind. They hated Kevin. Kevin was the one they all hated.
Tyrion.
Yeah.
Tywin's dad's name is Tytos. It's a thing. The Ty thing with the Lannisters is like naming your son Brandon if you're a Stark. It's a thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Or Aegon if you're a Targaryen.
Yeah, Aegon. Oh, God. Wasn't he just the cutest little baby Targaryen you ever saw?
No.
With his little blonde wig.
I think it's the only Targaryen I ever saw, so technically, yes. But
it is the only baby Targaryen we've ever seen. All
yeah.
right, fair enough. Fair enough. I loved all the costuming and everything on everybody. Everyone's sigils were on their chests, on their outfits. It was so good. I'm just still trying to take all the whole episode in.
We finally got the action.
There was a lot of action in this episode.
I was honestly getting ready to think of how I'm going to tear this episode apart because they gave us all this action in the beginning and then it was just political drama stuff. Like, alright, come on. But then they had Daemon be a badass for the last 10 minutes and you know what? You saved yourselves there.
I like the political drama stuff though.
I mean, I like it too, but you have House of the Dragon. I want to see dragons do dragon things.
Did you feel teased for like the first half of the episode? You were like, oh yeah, wait.
Kind of, yeah. Not gonna lie. I was like, oh, dragons. Family drama. Okay.
Well, I mean, you gotta have it in there, because, Rhaenyra doesn't want to get married, she doesn't want to have kids. Alicent and Viserys very much want her to do this, and it's just such a struggle throughout the whole thing, and her and Viserys do not speak to each other. And I guess it was maybe better in this episode because he actually communicated with her this time.
Alright, there we go. I'm done. I just had to make the thumbnail for this live stream because I forgot to do that earlier. Because I forgot to set up the live stream because I kind of forgot it was Sunday. So we have tomorrow off.
You do.
So. Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't.
Alright. Ooh. Now I can focus.
I know, I feel like I've been carrying this for the last 20 minutes.
I've been helping out. We got this. But, no, how does this compare with the reference of Fire and Blood? Like,
there's a lot more in here than, like, the crab feeder, man. All they say is that he's the prince of the Triarchy, and he's trying to take over the Stepstones. We don't know anything about the fact that I don't know, they gave him grayscale? Maybe? Oh.
I assume that's what it looked like, grayscale.
It did look like grayscale.
He looked kind of like an interesting character. I was hoping we were going to find out a little bit about him before he gets, cut in half.
Yeah, we really didn't get a lot other than he's a threat, he's creepy, he's dead.
And he's afraid of dragons. So every time he came out of the cave, it's like, where is it? Where is it? He knew.
I think it's a great way to do, like, warfare, because you have one side has dragons, this is like potentially fighting another group that has nuclear weapons. You're just always constantly on edge that even though you're winning and even though you're doing great, the other side, they still have dragons.
Exactly.
And shit could fall apart any minute.
It's like I told you while we were watching it. I don't know who would be crazy enough in this time period to piss off a Targaryen.
I think that's part of...
Because it's like one thing with Robert's rebellion and everything. Yeah, Robert was a badass. Eddard was a badass, but Aegon didn't have dragons.
Aerys,
yeah. And Rhaegar didn't have a dragon.
Yeah.
Now, if they had dragons, things might have been a little different.
I think
even Robert Baratheon would have been like,
You can have her.
She's all yours.
I think it definitely shows the power struggle between all the other houses, because you have all these other houses trying to compete, saying we have this, we have this, we have this, we have this, but it all pales in comparison to the fact that
I have
they
dragons.
have dragons.
Yeah.
And Viserys doesn't like dragons.
Yeah.
He doesn't like dragons.
Does he not like dragons, or is he a squib?
He rode.
Does he not have a? Yeah, but maybe Balerion didn't like him.
He rode Balerion until Balerion died.
Maybe Balerion died because he rode him.
That would be terrible. What's your claim to fame? I killed the Black Dread because I was so bad at riding dragons. But he seems almost terrified of dragons. It's like the only he's like the only Targaryen that's genuinely seems wary and scared of dragons. Whereas everyone else is like, I'm just gonna get on my dragon and I'm gonna do stuff. He's very mindful of what dragons mean to everyone else.
Yeah.
And how terrifying they are, which is very interesting.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because, no dragon ever really liked him. Or maybe Balerion was the only dragon that liked him.
Balerion was really old.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was just senile.
Maybe. Aegon, is that you? I've waited over 200 years.
Right? Maybe Balerion had Parkinson's or something. I don't know.
Yeah, what else could you pull from the book that happened in this episode?
It's been a long time since I read that book, so...
Oh, okay. Normally you're picking stuff from...
I know, normally I'm picking
show.
stuff apart. The Stepstones thing is just such a small part of the story.
Mm.
It's they could have literally made up so much stuff. I know that Viserys' insistence that Rhaenyra is his heir is definitely something that happens in the book. He is solid on that for...
I assume that is a huge plot device. They gotta have that in there.
And it does drive a wedge. The more he insists on it, the more it starts to drive a wedge.
Yeah.
But that's potentially going into spoiler territory.
Well, I mean, the man is driving a wedge, sure, but he's very progressive about it. I mean, it's Rhaenyra, you gotta get married, but I'll let you choose who it is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It won't be a Lannister, because apparently Lannister douchebaggery just is genetic. Runs in the family.
I know, right? It just apparently is a thing.
I was kind of hoping that she would go on a date to Casterly Rock so we could see Casterly Rock, though.
Me too. When he started talking about Casterly Rock, I was sitting here going, are we going to get to see it? I don't even care how the date goes. I just want to see it. And we didn't get to see it.
And his constant insisting on using the spear. My lord, my grace, don't forget, here you go. Here, you can use this to kill the stag. Poor prongs.
Poor prongs indeed.
Yeah, I don't know. This was
just an action-packed episode.
Kind of. I do think that the Kingsguard that Rhaenyra ran away with, I think there's going to be a bit of a love interest there.
It's a little bit of a chemistry build-up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was definitely hinted at. There's some chemistry there.
Maybe that will be her king. And whoo, that'll piss off Hightower.
She can't marry him.
Yeah, that's true.
He's in
But
the Kingsguard now. She can't marry him.
Yeah, well, she's queen. She can make whatever rules she wants.
I suppose she could.
Changing the rules. You're no
guess
longer
so.
in the Kingsguard.
I suppose. They definitely hinted at some chemistry there. They definitely hinted at Rhaenyra does what Rhaenyra wants to do. Consequences be damned.
Mm-hmm.
And Viserys doesn't do anything without like 30 people helping him to do it.
Yeah, that's true. And then he ignores all of them.
Yes.
Because that's what kings do.
Yes.
I was waiting for something to happen that reminded me of Robert because everything was set up. He's in the Kingswood looking for this great white stag and he's super, super drunk. I was expecting him to get like injured or something.
Something bad to happen.
Or someone to like make an attempt on his life. We'll throw back to A Song of Ice and Fire.
But no, the boar attacked Rhaenyra instead.
Mm-hmm. Because she's the true queen.
That's right. The white stag showed up.
The boars always go after the true kings and queens.
Ah. See, that's how they need to test.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what Stannis and Renly should have done.
Exactly.
They should have just gone out into the Kingswood to see who got attacked first.
Find a boar, line up, whoever dies is a true king.
They've been doing it wrong this whole time.
Who would have thought?
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Anything else to add on this?
I don't know. I feel like my brain is like, I can't even think. I just feel like my brain is just like, Dragon episode, good. That's all I got. I'm just like, it was just so good. I just enjoyed every minute. It was awesome.
I think Damon's my favorite character now.
Alicent Hightower's outfit looked so hot and uncomfortable.
Right? And she's pregnant.
It just looked miserable. I was like, oh my god, girl.
She did look like she hated her life, so there's that.
She's got this big thing on with these jewels like wrapped around like this, big puffy sleeves, fur. I'm just watching her going, oh my god, you look so uncomfortable. Oh my god. And maybe that's the point. Because Rhaenyra is looking at her like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that ever.
Right? And then she's like, oh, it's not that bad. They come quick.
Oh my god, I know. She's just like, it's okay.
It's only the 9 months of waiting that's bad.
Aegon came quick without a problem. It's fine. Yeah, and her mom died because that pregnancy was not fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, pregnancy is an occupational hazard.
And that was another thing. Like, I get Viserys blaming himself for the decision he made. But at the same time, the Maester said that if they didn't try it, they would both die anyways. So I get it was like gruesome and horrible to make the choice, but at the end of the day, she probably would have died no matter what.
The thing that's messed up about it is not that Viserys just made the decision because it's an awful decision. It's the fact that he made the decision and didn't tell her or say anything at all to her.
Well, yeah.
He didn't at least give her a choice.
Mm-hmm.
She had no say in what happened to her body at all.
Yeah.
And then it happened to her and she didn't even know it was happening. So Viserys should feel bad about it.
I'm not saying he shouldn't, but at the same time, there wasn't much choice.
No, there wasn't. Like, you can't feel guilty about the choice you made, but maybe, the way you made that choice, the fact you didn't say anything to your wife.
And look, I might have like a super soft spot for animals or something, but that whole scene with the stag and how they killed it
was horrible.
Was worse than the C-section scene for me.
Yeah, I hated that. I hated watching them kill it. It was awful. It was awful. Listening to it, like, cry
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was terrible. I hated it. I hated it.
Motherfucker's Voldemort out here. Pulling prongs.
Yeah. Yeah. Does that make Rhaenyra hairy if she saw Patronus prongs later?
Yeah, maybe. There you go.
Rhaenyra's Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Ah, see. It all comes together.
And I guess the crab eater was the one who looked like Voldemort. Either way, yeah, I'm totally excited for the next episode.
Oh man, I'm so in for the next episode.
We did get to see that on the next episode of House of the Dragon, Daemon is going to come back to King's Landing. Doesn't look like a happy reunion.
No, I think it's gonna stir some shit, which is great because I love it when he stirs shit. It's my favorite bits of the episodes is when he's in the room with all of them and he's just like,
right? I think it's just gonna be so funny because he's just gonna walk in there with the half of crab feeder and he's gonna just like throw him at the king's feet. Didn't need your ships. Got it. All by myself.
Suck it. They also mentioned...
Because I'm better than you.
I don't know how I feel about this. And I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But they talked about the Song of Ice and Fire again, and the prince that was promised.
Yeah, I know you have an issue with this.
And I'm just like... What are you going to say about it? Because...
Will this be what sets off all A Song of Ice and Fire fans across the world?
Or we're all just going to be extremely pissed off about it?
Show's going to start so good, and by the end, all
like
these
Game of
people are going to be like, screw this. This is awful. This is trash.
All the me people?
Yeah.
What is that supposed to mean?
The ones who have read all of Fire and Blood. I read most of it, but I didn't finish it. I didn't get to this point.
I'm just like, why are you bringing this up?
Because apparently that's a very big plot point in this show.
It's not a very big plot point in the Dance of the Dragons.
It is now.
But it's not. It wasn't.
Well, it is now because more people are going to watch this show than have read the books. Therefore, majority...
And even more people have read A Song of Ice and Fire, probably, than have read Fire and Blood.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because people picked up Fire and Blood and they were like, ew, this isn't a novel. I'm not reading this. This is stupid.
Even on this channel, we've had people that read A Song of Ice and Fire, but they haven't read Fire and Blood. They didn't even know Fire and Blood was a novel. Well, it's not a novel.
But,
a book.
It existed.
Yeah.
Right, existed. If they do it right, I'll be like, okay, fine. Because I get the whole prince that was promised Azor Ahai thing is thousands of years of prophecy and whatever.
Mm.
So if they weave it in there in a way that doesn't fuck up the story and can actually kind of make sense, I'll forgive it. But if it's a stupid way to tie the show to Game of Thrones, which didn't even follow through with the prince that was promised prophecy, I might be a little salty.
I think it's so great how, like, I don't know. Everything has to be canon with you. Like, if something doesn't follow it to the T, you got an issue. Just go with the flow.
Sometimes
some change
it's okay.
might be good.
I said, if it works in the story, I won't have a problem with it.
I thought this was just like a Harry Potter thing with you, but this is like everything.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. No.
Yeah.
No.
Should I bring up our discussion on the Rings of Power?
the difference between House of the Dragon and Rings of Power is House of the Dragon. Oh, we've got about 4 chapters of source material. We're going to make sure all the things that are supposed to happen. Rings of Power is just like, who's Galadriel? I don't care. Let's make her an elf warrior princess badass. Even though that's not who she even is as a character.
Who is she as a character? Because I thought you said she was an elf badass.
I mean, she is an elf. She is an elf badass, but not at that point in time. She doesn't ever like go out and fight and win big battles and everything else. She's just like, she's super strong. She's super smart. She gives a lot of people a lot of really good advice. She protects people and builds up her kingdom.
Oh, okay.
She's not out there chopping off troll heads every other day. She doesn't do that shit.
That's fair.
So it's like,
wouldn't be any trolls left.
The writers read Fire and Blood, and they're like, okay, let's do this. The people who are doing Rings of Power are just like, we're going to do what we want and just call these characters random things.
Well, there it is, I guess. Mm-hmm. I mean, on that, I really don't have anything else to say. This episode was just good, clean dragon fun.
For the most part, yeah, it really was.
We did get some, insight to the way Viserys parents, which, all in all, I think he's a pretty good dad.
I think he's doing
does his
better.
Best
he's trying to be
Rhaenyra.
better.
And he's a man of honor. The Eddard Stark of Targaryens.
He's trying to hammer home to her that, well, she needs reassurance from him that, he's got the son he always wanted. And so, of course, she's going to be upset because he married her best friend and then had a son. And so she tells him how she feels. She finally explodes and says, well, you've got no use for me anymore. So, They kind of have a breakthrough moment together, I think, where they really honestly tell each other how they feel, which is what they've built up to the last 2 episodes where they haven't been able to do that.
That scene where they're at the table, I thought they were just going to hug each other. Hug it out. They didn't. It's like, God, come on, just... No one's watching. Just let go of the whole king and princess routine.
You can see, though, how this decision is just going to piss everyone off, and it's going to create a lot of drama.
Oh, yeah. It's going to piss off the Hightowers. Going to piss off Damien. It's going to...
Damon.
That's what I said.
You said Damien.
No, Damon. It's going to piss off... Well, I guess it's already pissed him off.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's pissing off Rhaenyra too, honestly. Now I have to get married? What is this bullshit?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to get married either.
That's fair.
She's very Merida about all this.
Right? I'm waiting for her to, fuck shit up. Really haven't seen it yet. I mean, I know it's gonna happen. I can only assume it's gonna happen. I mean, we saw her on the dragon and stuff. She's gonna do some badass shit.
She will do some badass shit. Other people will also do some badass shit. But I think they're doing a very good job of building up the tensions here as events progress. And I think the time jumps are fine. I think they're...
No, I don't have an issue with the time jumps.
I think they're doing them pretty well.
Yeah.
And the characters are looking older, appropriately older.
I did read at some point, Alicent and Rhaenyra are played by different actresses.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't make them look any older, so they got
2 new people to play. Yeah, because they have to age 10 years or something like that.
Yeah,
they're gonna skip ahead 10 years.
Yep.
Which
so we'll see how that
makes sense because the story does that. The chapters do that. You get This, which
And I can't remember. Well, since we're talking about how the actresses look, I can't remember if I brought it up in the last one in the video, but I know I talked to you. I thought that they like tried to dye Rhaenyra's eyebrows, and then in the last episode, it looked like they just gave up on it. And then this episode, pretty sure it's just the lighting, because there's some scenes where they look very pale and white, then other ones are very dark. So
it's probably,
if I did say that, I think I was wrong. I think it was just the lighting. Her eyebrows look very dark in some, and then very light in others.
It's gotta be the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Matt Smith doesn't have eyebrows, it looks like. Damon does not look like he has eyebrows. They're so light. Like, the Targaryen hair, he wears it well.
Yeah.
Not all of them look perfect with the Valyrian hair.
The series.
Yeah.
Looks out of place. Alright.
I loved his little bald spots, though.
Yeah.
It really was a nice touch. Yeah. Just good. Just good. Not disappointed. Looking forward to the next one. Just getting better and better.
So
Effing awesome.
Until next week.
Until next week.
Take care.
Have a good night, everybody.